Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You probably don't know me. This is, chances are, the first video in which you get to hear my voice from my YouTube channel. I am going to try something new and read a fan fiction. I have not read this before, but I am told it's extremely accurate to the remake of Resident Evil Part 2. It's been written by Rin190. And yes, I got Rin's permission to react to it live. I guess the last warning I've got to give is English is not my first language. I I used to be an English teacher, so I'm fluent in it. But because of this, and because it's my first video, don't expect me to be too, well, I'm going to stutter a lot. Another warning, this is mature. It contains graphic depictions of violence and major character death. Category Other. Fandoms, Dead by Daylight video game, Biohazard Resident Evil Gameverse. Legion in the Dead Zone. By the way, I am kind of an expert on the Legion themselves. If you haven't played Dead by Daylight, they were a group of delinquents from Canada. I actually myself wrote fanfiction about them. I know a lot about them. I've cosplayed as them. So let's check if this is accurate to their lore, if the author took some creative liberties. Either way, it's fine, as long as the fanfic is good and we have fun with it. So, without further ado, and you can read the additional tags over here. You can pause this video and read them. But I'm not going to, because I would like to be surprised. Legion in the Dead Zone. The Legion, a group of close friends from Mormon, Canada, had journeyed to the US in search of a better life. Frank, the determined leader, was behind the wheel of Joey's weathered sedan. He had been driving for hours, taking in the unfamiliar sights of the new city. The streets, though quiet and empty, seemed to have a strange charm to them, but something felt off. In the rearview mirror, Frank caught a glimpse of Susie and Joey in the back seats. They were laughing and joking over something Joey had shown her, their carefree spirits momentarily lifting Frank's mood. He couldn't help but smile at the sight. I can only assume that what Joey is showing Susie is like a photo album or something. There were no cell phones aside from those really old ones that looked like walkie-talkies. I'll actually pull them out for you to see. 1996 cell phones. Okay. Yeah, like... So I don't think it's any post on the internet. Just saying. Beside him, Julie was quiet, her gaze fixed out the window as the dim light of the evening reflected off the glass. She was lost in thought, perhaps reflecting on their past or simply taking in the new surroundings. Frank shifted his focus back to the road, driving carefully through the still, empty streets of Raccoon City. Oh, so they're already in Raccoon City. Alright. A sense of unease began to creep up his spine as the city's eerily deserted atmosphere made him feel as though they were being watched. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I apologize for my voice. It wasn't long before the gas light on the dashboard flickered on, and Frank cursed under his breath. Alright guys, we're making a quick pit stop, he announced. Do you need to use the bathroom or want anything? The three other passengers shook their heads in unison. And that's my first problem right here. Like, I don't know, Rin, have you ever been on a road trip? There's no way that out of 4 people, at least 2 of them wouldn't want to make a stop and stretch their legs. Like, I wouldn't miss a chance to ask for Doritos or, hey, can you buy a hot dog? Can you know... Like, I'm tired of being in this car, been here for 6 hours, let's stop, for crying out loud. Alright, I'll be right back. Frank stepped out of the car and immediately noticed something out of place. A sheriff's vehicle parked haphazardly at the edge of the station, its surface streaked with fresh blood. His heart skipped a beat as his eyes tracked the blood-stained trail leading to the gas station entrance. What the hell? He muttered to himself, unease creeping into his gut. The blood trail aside, Frank used to be a juvenile delinquent, so he probably has this instinctive aversion to police cars. You know? Like, nope. He hesitated only for a moment before walking cautiously towards the entrance, the knot of uncertainty growing tighter. As soon as he pushed open the door, the foul stench of decay hit him like a wall. The gas station was in chaos. Shelves were overturned, products were scattered across the floor, and dark streaks of blood painted the walls. So Leon or Claire have already been there. I'm guessing this is the beginning of the remake. I have recently played that, so it's fresh in my mind. Okay, this is so cool. Frank's stomach churned as he covered his nose and mouth, trying to block out the overwhelming stench. His eyes scanned the room, looking for any sign of life, or perhaps death. Perhaps now it's a good time to alert the others. Hey, Julie, I'm going into this extremely suspicious place. I don't want to go in by myself. No, honey, I'm not scared. I have seen enough horror movies to know that splitting the party is not a good idea, so can you guys please come over, bring knives, bring batons, and whatever, like baseball bats with those barbed wires wrapped around it? Please? I don't like this. He spotted a flashlight on the floor and quickly picked it up, the beam cutting through the darkness. It's official, we are in a horror video game. The first thing that those games do is usually give you a flashlight. His heart raced as he cautiously moved deeper into the station, until he found a man crouched against the wall, clutching his neck in obvious pain. His eyes were wide, filled with panic. Frank rushed to his side, kneeling beside the man. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked, trying to keep his voice steady despite the unsettling situation. "I think my friend Joey worked as a paramedic. Okay, it was only for a week before they fired him, but he probably has, like, some sort of expertise in it, or at least he lied about that in his resume. I can go get him to help you. Let me take you to my sedan, maybe. Call 911. Oh, wait, 911's parked outside. Help!" The injured man didn't respond verbally, but with a strained grunt, he weakly pointed towards the back room. "Out!" Frank hesitated for only a moment before deciding to investigate. The back room was pitch black, and the stench of blood and decay thickened as he stepped inside. His heart hammered in his chest as the flashlight beam swept across the room, revealing a police officer struggling with a thrashing, wild-eyed figure. The man in the police uniform looked at Frank, their eyes locking for a brief, tense moment. So he's supposed to be Leon Kennedy. Got it. "Sir, is everything all right?" Frank called out, his voice carrying a mix of concern and confusion. The officer glanced back, his face twisted in exhaustion and fear. "I have everything under control," he said gruffly, shaking his head. "You should leave, sir." Famous last words. But before Frank could respond, the person in the officer's grip broke free, moving with inhuman speed and strength. With a crazed snarl, the attacker lunged at the officer, throwing him to the ground. The officer's panicked screams were cut off as the attacker sank his teeth into the officer's neck, tearing into his flesh with an horrifying hunger. Frank's blood ran cold. He froze, horrified, as the officer's screams turned into choking gurgles. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. "Get off of him!" Frank shouted, his voice hoarse with disbelief. Oh. The assailant's head jerked up, its bloodshot eyes locking onto Frank's with a crazed, animalistic glare. Frank's hand instinctively reached for the hunting knife in his pocket, his fingers trembling as they wrapped around the handle. "Stay back!" Frank shouted, though his voice faltered. The creature didn't stop. It advanced towards Frank with terrifying determination. Yeah, Frank must be thinking something along the lines of, "I have studied true crime for years. Nothing has prepared me for this." Frank's heart raced as the creature lunged. And if you can hear the birdies outside, good for you, by the way. I just hope no motorbikes go past my neighborhood. But I'm sorry for the background noise, I don't have a studio to record these in. Without a second thought, Frank swung the knife, burying the blade deep into the creature's chest. It staggered backward, screeching in pain before collapsing onto the floor, lifeless. Frank's pulse was pounding in his ears as he stared at the two bodies, one human, one monstrous, lying on the floor before him. The scent of blood and iron clung to the air, overwhelming his senses. He didn't linger, not for a second. He turned and bolted out the back room, moving with desperate urgency. "Joey! Help! Joey! Come get me! Help!" As he sprinted towards the exit, another grotesque creature appeared, shrieking as it reached for him. Frank did not hesitate. He plunged the knife into its arm, causing it to recoil with a pained scream. The shrieks and growls from all around him grew louder as more of the undead closed in on him. Where did all of those come from? Like, this is a question for Resident Evil 2, the remake, as well. Like, the gas station was empty when we first approached it and when we got inside, but then on the way out, all of a sudden, we're attacked by a lynch mob. What the hell? Where was I? Yes. Frank cursed under his breath, panic rising in his chest. He sprinted towards the car, his legs aching from the effort, his mind racing. Julie was already in the driver's seat. Oh, I guess they agreed mutually that she was going to drive after the next stop. Okay. Her eyes wide with concern as she turned to face Frank, her hand gripping the steering wheel. "Frank, what's wrong?" she asked, her voice laced with worry. Frank's chest heaved as he slammed the car door shut, his breath coming in ragged gasps. "We need to get out of here! Now!" His voice was urgent, filled with fear and determination. You did not refuel the car. Can I just say this? You did not refuel the car. Maybe some of the others actually did that while he went inside the gas station. I'm surprised none of them noticed the blood coming from the officer's vehicle. But alright. Without a word, Julie turned the key in the ignition, the car roaring to life. She slammed her foot on the gas pedal, reversing out of the gas station lot and speeding down the empty street of Raccoon City. The distant sound of shrieks and growls echoed behind them as the undead continued to pursue. Are those zombies?" Susie screamed, her voice tinged with panic as she turned in her seat, peering through the back window. Joey twisted in his seat, his pale face. His face pale. "I think so." I'm not gonna say that. "Julie, go faster!" Frank shouted, his voice tight with fear. Julie gripped the steering wheel tightly, her knuckles white, as she floored the gas pedal. The car shot forward, weaving through the empty streets as the zombies in the distance continued their relentless chase. Where the hell did they all come from? I know, right? I'm with Joey on this one. Where the hell did they all come from? They didn't pass by the sedan outside with the 3 Legion inside. Joey asked, his voice trembling as he turned back to look at the pursuing horde. I don't know, but they're not stopping, Susie whispered, her hands trembling as she clutched her seatbelt. May I say, these zombies are in pretty good shape if they are able to, at any capacity, chase after a car. Maybe there's something on the radio? Joey suggested. Joey, not a good time. This isn't the time to suggest music, bro. Okay, just kidding. I know that he's asking for the news to see if there's an outbreak, but let me joke, okay? Good idea, Frank said, his voice tense as he twisted the dial, searching for a station. Static filled the air, causing him to groan in frustration. He flicked through the channels, all of them a jumble of white noise, until, finally, he landed on the broadcast. Raccoon City is being infected by some sort of virus that is turning people into cannibals. Please stay cautious and evacuate. If you cannot evacuate, head to the Raccoon Police Department. Frank's heart skipped a beat. The police department? Julie, drive straight ahead! I never thought I'd see the day that Frank would actually willingly walk into a police station. This is priceless. Julie nodded without a word, her eyes focused on the road ahead as she pushed the car faster. The streets around them seemed to grow darker, more oppressive, as they neared the heart of Raccoon City. The tension in the car was palpable, and Susie grimaced as she peered out the window. Jeez! What happened here? Frank shrugged, his mind racing as he looked out the window, watching the chaos unfold around them. No idea. Soon, they arrived at the heart of Raccoon City, where destruction reigned. Julie slammed the car into park and scanned the area, her face grim. Frank, now it's official, we're completely out of gas. They're everywhere, she cursed under her breath, eyes wide as she watched the zombies converge around the vehicle like a dark, malevolent tide. Love the description work in this particular sentence, by the way. The malevolent tide. Frank gritted his teeth as he tugged at the car door handle, but it wouldn't budge. They're too strong, he grunted, trying to force the door open, but it refused to give. Yeah, Resident Evil zombies, they are stronger than Walking Dead zombies. Best to keep that in mind. Growls and screams surrounded them from every direction, their terrifying proximity making the air feel thick with dread. Then, out of the darkness, a blinding light appeared. A gas truck, its horn blaring frantically. Oh, I know what's coming. It's the gas truck! It's coming to deliver us the gasoline we forgot to put in back at the gas station. A gas truck barreled? I don't know. Barreled toward them with reckless abandon. Frank's pulse shot into overdrive as the truck plowed into their car with brutal force. The impact sent their sedan skidding across the slick pavement, a cacophony of metal grinding and glass shattering. Frank's body slammed into the headrest, his teeth clattering together from the impact. The truck collided with an electric pole, sending sparks into the air as the metal twisted and groaned. The truck toppled onto its side, leaking fuel across the pavement, mingling with the blood already staining the ground. For a moment, everything seemed to slow, but the zombies didn't stop. Drawn to the scent of gasoline, they shifted their attention to the wreckage. Frank groaned, "Urgh!" his body aching from the violent collision. He pushed himself up, his legs threatening to buckle beneath him, and looked towards the wrecked sedan. His heart sank as he saw the car had been split in half by the collision, engulfed in flames. He ran toward it, shouting, "Guys! Guys! Are you all right?" But the explosion that followed sent him flying backward, his body slamming into the pavement with a sickening thud. The heat of the fire enveloped him, and he could taste the smoke in his throat. Gritting his teeth against the pain, Frank groaned and pushed himself to his feet. Amidst the chaos and the screams, Frank heard familiar voices calling his names. "Frank! Frank! Are you all right? Where are you?" He let out a relieved sigh as he recognized their voices. "Yes! Yes! I'm fine!" he shouted back, his voice hoarse. The flames roared around him, and Frank shielded his face from the heat. "We've got to get to the police station! I'll meet you guys there!" "All right! Be careful, Frank!" Julie shouted back. "I love you!" With a final glance at the carnage behind him, Frank staggered forward, determination and fear fighting for dominance in his heart. He had to make it to the police station. His survival, and possibly the world's, depended on it. Alright guys, this was the first I almost said episode. This was the first chapter of Legion in the Dead Zone by Rin190. I hope I get to continue to read it. Maybe in the future when I have an editing software I can add some imagery to go with it. But for now, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you excused my screaming, my acting, my voice. And thank you once again, Rin, for letting me react to your fanfiction. See you guys next time.